guys, welcome back to the channel with your host that does the absolute most, spiritual intellectual 777 here once again, coming at you guys from the house of greatness. And in today's video we are talking about unhealthy relationship dynamics. So the first point that I want to discuss is chasing someone that doesn't value you, right? We've all done it. We're all guilty of this, you know? And the reason why this is an unhealthy relationship dynamic is because, you know, first and foremost, you chasing a person who doesn't even want you. You know, you are sitting around professing your love to them. You're telling that other person how much you deeply care about them, and you're telling that person, you know, you're pretty much spilling the beans about how you truly feel about that person. Whereas them, on the other hand, they're not. You know, you could be putting in all this effort through your actions and showing them, but at the same time, you know, they're not responding, they're not giving you the same energy back. So it is really out of balance. And according to the universal law of giving and receiving, you must balance your giving with the receiving. And if the person that you're giving your love to isn't reciprocating it back, then you simply need to bounce, because that person has obviously shown you time and time again that they're not fucking interested in you. So what is the use of doing that? And that is a sign that you lack love within yourself, and that's also a reflection that you don't really value yourself and you put yourself last. So in turn, you have attracted a person that's, you know, unavailable on all types of levels, right? You know, and it's basically like really, really sad that, you know, a lot of us are unconscientious of this, and we haven't really dug deep on the inside as to why, you know, we keep neglecting ourselves in the first place, right? But before I proceed further on, I'm gonna play you a clip of what I'm talking about from the movie Stardust.
Oh, Tristan, a shooting star. Oh, beautiful.
More beautiful than a fancy ring from Ipswich? Victoria, for your hand in marriage, I'd cross the wall and I'd bring you back that fallen star.
You can't cross the wall. Nobody crosses the wall. Now you're just being silly.
I'm not being silly. I'd do it. For you, I'd do anything.
My very own star.
Uh-huh.
It seems we have ourselves an agreement.
You have exactly 1 week, or I'm marrying Humphrey.
So I hope you've seen in that scenario how that guy, I forgot the name of his character, so forgive me if I mispronounce it, but when I figure it out in editing, I'm gonna put a title card of what his name is. But yeah, it just basically goes to show you that he's trying so hard to win the love, affection, and approval of Victoria, even though she's giving him clear-cut signs that she really doesn't care. You know what I mean? And it's just really, really sad that a lot of us continue to chase people, you know, or potential romantic partners who don't really care about us in the first place, right? And it's just like, you know, and it's like a recipe for disaster, pretty much. And then we would have wasted a lot of time on a person that doesn't give a shit about us, when we could have been cultivating a relationship with someone who actually does give a damn about us, or who is actually worth a damn in our world, right? And so I'm gonna move on to the next point. So point number 2 is gaslighting. And I'll leave the definition of gaslighting in the title card below as well for you guys to go ahead and read it. But, you know, just to sum up gaslighting, it's basically like a person that's making you question, you know, your own sanity pretty much. And it's like, bruh, like, you've already known that you've done wrong, so why are you trying to deflect it onto me? Like, for example, like, let's say a person, you know, for this being a purpose of talking about romantic relationships, hence the name Dating 101, we gonna say that the person cheated on you, right? And then you catch them in the act, and then later on they try to deny it by pinning it on you, saying, you're the reason I did this, and, you know, you didn't give me this and you didn't give me that. And it's just that they're making all sorts of excuses for their own behavior, and then they're deflecting the responsibility from themselves to you, and basically trying to make you feel like the bad guy or the bad girl in the situation, you know, when you've been a person that may have been loyal to them this whole time. You showed them unconditional love and affection. You supported them in their dreams. You've held their heads while they were crying on your shoulders. You know, you pretty much did the whole works, you know, of a standard healthy relationship, right? And you've been upfront and honest with them from the get-go. But then, you know, they go off and do some stuff like this, and then they want to turn around. They want to turn it around on you and make you feel like you crazy, right? But the thing is like, you know, we make decisions because we wanted to make the decisions in the first place. It is not the result of what other people do to us, because we always have a choice in the matter of how we conduct ourselves on a daily basis, right? And so when a person just gaslights you, it's not because of you. It is because they do not want to face themselves. And they're going to deflect their wrongdoings upon you so that they don't have to take responsibility for it. And another example that I want to talk about, even though this has nothing to do with romantic relationships, is like abusive family members who basically, like, let's say, for example, your mom, you know, says all of this abusive shit towards you and calls you all types of derogatory names. And then she wants to turn around and act like nothing has ever happened, right? She want to act all lovey-dovey towards you and, you know, kiss you all on your cheek and says, like, you're my precious child, and ask you, do you know that I love you, my child, or some shit like that. When a minute ago, they were just tearing your ass down mentally, psychologically, verbally, and spiritually. And this happens a lot of times in dysfunctional households. And it's very sad that this keeps going on and that this is still the norm of society. You know, as a matter of fact, I'm going to leave a screenshot of a post that pertains to that, and I'll link that in the description right below. But yeah, it's like, it's real sad that a lot of families still do this to young little children, and we're still having a society full of adults who are wounded and need lots and lots of healing, right? Whereas if we just raise children to be empowered from the get-go, we wouldn't have adults who would need healing in the first place. And they would go on to live full-on productive lives where they're manifesting shit, you know, whenever they want, you know, however they want to, right? And so moving on to the next point. So another unhealthy relationship dynamic is Machiavellianism, right? And if you want context on what Machiavellianism is, you know, I'll screenshot the post right here, and you can just go ahead and read that. Click the link in the description and read that post as well before, you know, you proceed with the video, because I will go in depth, more in depth on the video version on this topic. And so, you know, basically, you know, a symptom of Machiavellian behavior in romantic relationships is a person you know, is a partner not really openly communicating their boundaries with their partner, and then when their partner breaks the unspoken boundary, they're pretty much treating their partner like shit and yelling at them and exploding at them like, you know, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Blah, 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 blah. And then the partner is sitting over there confused like, the fuck? Like, where did this come from? Like, this is so unexpected. And they're just feeling like dumbfounded and confused. And it's just like, it is sad that, you know, a lot of people aren't really straight up when they get into relationships. And then next thing you know, they're going to relationship counseling. But by then it's already too late because the damage has already been done. And there's been years and years and years of this going on. And then next thing you know, they just fucking like break up and divorce. Why? All because they did not communicate their needs and boundaries from the get-go. You see, the relationship could have thrived and been saved from the very start, but instead they wait until the damage was too great to be fixed to try to save the relationship. And see, this is what I'm talking about, you know, about people not communicating effectively. You know what I'm saying? And it's just real sad that, you know, the divorce rate is still pretty fucking high, and that, you know, a lot of people don't want to work shit out. But instead, you know, people are just so quick to break up just like that because they expect their partner to be sidekicks instead of, you know, clearly communicating from the start about what it is that they want. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, I'll leave a screen recording up here of my video about mama's boy syndromes, and the link to that video will be in the description below because I do talk about some of this in that video, right? For all those mama's boys out there or women who are dealing with mama's boys and want more clarity on it, the link is in the description below for you again so that you can go ahead and go watch that video. You know what I'm saying? Which leads into, you know, which leads into people playing zero-sum games in a relationship. And the definition of what a zero-sum game is in the title card below in this video. But it's just like, damn, like, why are we playing games when we're all adults here? Like, we all grown folks, we got shit to do. We ain't got time to be playing these damn games, man. I'm telling you, you know, people who are very Machiavellian have the most unfulfilling relationships ever because they refuse to communicate from the get-go and just be their real authentic selves. And it's real sad that a lot of people keep believing that they need to be Machiavellian or exhibit these Machiavellian behaviors in order to get what they want. Yeah, you may get what you want in the short term, but in the long term, it's going to bring about a lot of negative karma, and it's going to cause your romantic relationship to deteriorate because now your partner can't trust you, and your partner feels like they can't be honest with you, so they just kind of withdraw from you for a little while, and it causes them to be angry at you because you're playing these zero-sum games with them and plus, you know, they didn't even realize in the first place that they were playing a zero-sum game with you, and it leaves the partner feeling resentful of you. So please hear me when I say this. Get rid of that Machiavellian bullshit behavior as soon as possible, way before you even get to a relationship. Get rid of those Machiavellian tendencies, because you're just gonna have a string of unfulfilling relationships otherwise. And I don't want that for you. I want you to have a thriving romantic relationship. So please, by all means, get rid of it. So we moving on to the next point, guys. Another unhealthy relationship dynamic is jealousy, right? And we all know that just a little bit of jealousy is healthy, because I mean, what sane partner will want their partner flirting with other people and having these like fantasies about, you know, doing to do with other people, right? I mean, I know for damn sure I don't want my partner fantasizing about, you know, X amount of men, which she doesn't, by the way, and I already know that I can trust her because she's shown me time and time again that she's a trustworthy partner, you know, so I'm very secure in my relationship. But, you know, for the people in general, you know, who feel this, you know, constant jealousy towards their partner, you know, you got to look at yourself and see where is this constant jealousy coming from? You know what I mean? You know, what is causing you to have these trust issues? Now, it would be one thing if your partner has constantly shown you that, you know, they have an intent of flirting with other men or women, right? And then they just keep doing that shit over and over and over again, even after you told them like, hey, look, it's not cool, I'm not digging that. You know, but, you know, if your partner has shown you that, you know, you can trust them, but you insist on going through their phone and reading their text messages and, you know, constantly asking to see their social media posts, it's like, damn, man. Like, you gotta chill out with that shit. Obviously, you know, you have a lot of core issues that you need to heal. And if this sounds like you right now, don't beat yourself up. Just acknowledge the behavior for what it is. You know, dig deep inside of yourself as much as you can to see where is this coming from, and then release it. Because there is no need in holding on to these trust issues, right? And I saw this one particular quote on Instagram. I don't remember exactly what it says, so unfortunately I'm not gonna have a screenshot or a screen recording of it. But, you know, it says something along the lines of, you know, I have no trust issues because if a partner has it in their heart to cheat, then they're going to fucking cheat and there's nothing you can do about it. And so the vibe that I picked up from that quote was that you just have to let go of the outcome and expectations of how you want your partner to be and instead see them for who they are. And if it turns out they're a cheating son of a bitch, then they're a cheating son of a bitch and there's nothing you can do about it. And you just gotta let them go and move about your business and work on cultivating more and more self-love and start loving your own company and start loving your own self, so that you can attract a partner who loves you for you and you know that you can trust with all your heart and soul, right? So there is no sense in, you know, being super duper jealous all the time, you know, because if you were secure in yourself, you wouldn't let that phase you, you know. And I'm not saying that you should excuse their behavior and just let them go do whatever the fuck they want to do, but if that's what they want to do, then they can just kick fucking rocks and y'all can just move your own separate ways. But anyways, we moving on to the very last point. So last but not least, the point that I want to talk about is codependency. And this is a big one in relationships that actually leads to Machiavellian behavior that I discussed earlier, right? And in my Instagram post, if you check that out. If you haven't checked that out, by all means, go click the link in the description below so that you can read the post in its entirety. Because I cover Machiavellianism pretty in depth there. I may even make a part 2 of that post. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, you know, if you don't love yourself and you haven't learned to spend an adequate amount of time just being by yourself and getting to know yourself on a deep fundamental level, then you're gonna try to make up for it in, you know, in a series of romantic partners to complete you and to heal you and to make you feel validated. But what you're going to stumble upon over and over and over again is partners that are emotionally unavailable, who are abusive towards you and take advantage of you. And you're going to keep manifesting that same shit, just in different partners. And until you heal that core wound of abandonment, you're going to keep attracting partners just like that. And you're just going to be stuck in this negative feedback loop from hell of getting partners who don't treat you right. And all relationships start off with self-love. So you got to remember that, guys. All relationships start off with self-love. And when you start loving yourself seriously, that's when you attract the best fucking relationships, romantic and platonic, into your reality. Why? Because this reality is like a giant mirror. And whatever you give off and the vibe, whatever vibe you give off to reality is going to boomerang that energy right back to you. And if you don't like the energy that's being boomeranged back to you, then you need to fix the energy inside of yourself and raise your vibrational frequency in order for you to attract better things into your personal reality. You know what I'm saying? And so, all in all, you just gotta level up your consciousness so that you can have a better perception of reality. And I remember that my partner reminding me of this yesterday, is that your perception equals your reality. And so if you're constantly complaining about partners not being there for you and partners who are just shitty and emotionally unavailable, all women are bitches and all men are dogs, then guess what? You're going to keep attracting the same fucking experience over and over and over and over again. Why? Because you are feeding your energy to that perception of reality. And when you shift your perception of reality to something like, oh, I love my own company. I love myself 100%. Reality is fun. Reality is amazing. I choose right now in this moment to be happy despite my current circumstances. Then guess what you're going to manifest in your reality? More fun, more happiness, more peace of mind, more joy, more love, more people, or more concisely, more fulfilling relationships, a deeper, heightened spiritual connection to the cosmos, to the universe, and to God itself, and with your spiritual brethren and sisters, you know? But you'll only be able to experience that once you shift your perception of reality and raise your vibration. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, levels in a video game. You know, when you're at level 1, you're at the very bottom of the scale and you don't have all the cool little weapons and gadgets and upgrades yet, and you see lack and limitation. But when you're at like level 5,000, you got all the goodies. You got all the weapon upgrades. You got all the swagged out clothes. You eating good. You living good. Your character's feeling good. You got all the little fun little perks that being at the higher level has. And so if you want to go from level 1 to level 5,000 and above, all you got to do is shift your perception of reality. And all you have to do is just simply decide that you're not going to put up with the unhealthy relationship dynamics. All right. So I'm going to end the video right here by saying thank you for tuning in to another YouTube video of mine. And if you're brand spanking new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click that bell right next to it so that you get notified every single Friday that I upload these videos, because I upload videos every Friday on this YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? And if you want the links to all of my other social media platforms, it is within my Adobe Spark webpage, which the link to that is in the description below. And if you're interested in my video and photography and audio recording and editing services, you can go ahead and email me at 8milproductions@gmail.com. And last but not least, make sure to share this with your friends and family that you think need to see this, and on all of your social media platforms, so that people can get the awareness of what unhealthy relationship dynamics is. And then next Friday, I am going to be covering part 2 of this like dating 101 series, which is the healthy relationship dynamics. So make sure you stay attuned for that type of information, so that you can get some awareness on what healthy relationships entails, and so that you can know whether or not you're on the right track to attract healthy relationships, whether romantic or platonic. All right, so peace in and out with the highest vibes, and I'll see you guys next Friday.